Welcome to the Ubuntu Room, where we talk all things personal empowerment, all things spiritual development, and everything in between. A place where we recognize that the power is in our hands to create the lives that we desire, and that everything we seek is actually within us. So whether you're peeking around the corner with curiosity, or you're sitting in the thick of it with your own spiritual development, I have a feeling there's something here for you. So grab your notebooks, people, and let's get to it. Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is the Ubuntu Room.
Okay, hold on a second.
Thank you for joining me. And, got it?
Yeah, because you seem like you have an antenna going at you.
Oh, does it? Oh.
Yeah, that wasn't very romantic.
Naughty. Okay, so anyway, there's a unicorn. We'll get to that. Okay, so week 4 of book club, and this week we are talking about chapter 5, and that is Unicorns Enter Stage Left. And the purpose of this chapter was to really spotlight what happens when we do all the work. So up until this chapter, I talked about how I exercised my creativity and how that expanded into a new form of spirituality and expansion of my intuition. I talked about how I had to address things in my life that were no longer serving me, and I'm going to talk about this later actually, somewhere else, about how we elevate our frequency. And in doing all of this, I started planning for a retreat, for a wellness retreat, to assist others in this process. And also in doing this, I started meeting some really cool people. And I always joke, the unicorns fell out of the sky. When I committed to myself and I elevated my frequency and I became more aligned and sovereign in who I am, all of a sudden these really cool people started showing up. And then I was forced to look at relationships that no longer serve me and cut those ties. And when I did that, more unicorns showed up. And that was really the purpose of this whole conversation. That's why I had a unicorn sitting in front of me. So I want to open up the conversation I want to know, who are the unicorns in your life? When did you see them show up? When did you start to feel the dissonance of relationships that were no longer comfortable? Did you still hold on to those relationships out of whatever belief that you carried, whatever obligation, regardless of the dissonance? I want to know what that looks like for you. Because when I started recognizing that, all I have to do is cut that tie and I'll elevate, I started doing that. And I'll tell you one other thing. I get excited. It's not always easy. It is a year. This week is the year anniversary that I ended my relationship with the company that I co-created, Phenom Publishing. And it was a very difficult time. And it took me the better part of a year to grieve, to accept, to let go completely. And then to tie up all the loose ends that I thought were tied. And I was like, there's another one, there's another one. It was really difficult to do. But I had to accept that I was elevating and there was a dissonance between me and the company that I created. And I had to let go of all the fear, all the doubt, all the obligation in order for my elevation. And this year has been something, to say the least. So if I could do it, and I'm some dope from Jersey, you could do it too. So with that said, thanks for listening, Ubuntu, and let's talk unicorns.
Yep, I love talking unicorns. Unicorns. You know that I can actually have a conversation about unicorns to me.
Ooh, sorry.
It's like there are other people like me, because growing up there was never anyone else like me. So when there's no one like you, you keep to yourself because you know you're different, whatever it is, and everyone's different. You know you're different, but you can't share your differences because you will fear that they may be like, what? But maybe they would be more like you if anyone actually stepped out, which is, I love that we have this platform that people can truly be who they are. And we can talk about stones, or we can talk about finding Jesus, or we can talk about unicorns. Everyone has a safe space to share their voice of what they share, as long as it's for the goodness of mankind. Let me premise that.
Yeah. To piggyback what you were saying about I've always felt like I don't belong here. I feel like my Sky family dropped me here and said, all right, you get to figure it out, and left. So there was a little bit of a vacation of my team, and I can see now how maybe every decade or every 5 years there's been a like what you're saying, that unicorniness dropping in when you recognize you no longer fit in a place, you know, and have to move along. When you're younger, we don't have words for that. Now, as we've gotten older, I'm very grateful that I can see it more clear and look back, hindsight 2020, and see all of the different things and how they've shifted from one thing to the next.
You know, I throw the word unicorn around. Like, I've dubbed people unicorns, and I just want to be clear that it's not like because the people are magical, but it is at the same time, strangely enough. I call them unicorns because I found in my evolution is that every time I needed somebody or even an experience or an opportunity, they just showed up when I needed them because I was aligned with it. So it felt like magic. You know what I mean? Like I needed somebody to assist me in forgiving my mother after she passed because I was carrying that. And boom, this chick fell out of the sky, to assist me in this process. So I dubbed her a unicorn. You know, then again, in my own personal evolution, I started to become more interested in things like people who channeled and people who did things that are outside of the norm. And then all of a sudden, Anne-Marie showed up. You know what I mean? So I dubbed her a unicorn. So I just want to be clear. I'm saying unicorn, but it's really those, we'll speak specific to the people, not necessarily the experiences, those who show up when you need them. And they all have a certain teacher or somebody who mirrors what you need to see or hear in that moment. You know what I mean? They show up. We just have to open our awareness to it. So those are the unicorns, not just the stuffed animal that you carry on your lap.
It's interesting when I started streaming, and I was going through a dark period of my life. I was getting divorced, and my son Gio was a streamer. He was a gamer, and he was streaming one day, and I went to see him. I went to visit, and that's how AMP2 TV was created. It's actually AMP Square TV. But we couldn't figure out how to write square on top, a little 2. And everybody kept writing AMP Square. So I said, let's just call it AMP2 TV. He was 14 when he was a gamer. And he taught me what gaming was about. He taught me what streaming. But I did it, my unicorn was, I did it to save my relationship with my son. Because I felt I was losing that and my other son. And I have pictures of me sitting in restaurants with him in Tampa, going over things I didn't even understand. I didn't know what streaming was like. I didn't know what the vMix was like. I didn't know any of this. I didn't understand it, but I didn't care.
But were you drawn to it?
I drove there twice a week.
And that's your soul saying, come on, this way, this way.
That was my unicorn, that I sold it to a radio station. Are you kidding me? I didn't care about that. I didn't care about that at all. That I had a relationship with my son, that we used to go to dinner and talk about it. And we used to go to different places. We went to Georgia. We went to different people to cover streaming. I got to do the National Democratic Convention with his help. I didn't care about getting paid. I just cared about doing it with him.
That's something.
And look at it now, man. And it's evolved into some. My unicorn was about this big. When I started, and my unicorn now is this big. So what I give back is I tell people.
The visual of you holding
That's
the
okay.
unicorn right
That's
now.
all right. Look at it.
I love it.
Andrew, it really just hit me, Gato, that he's holding the unicorn
First of
in his
all,
lap.
First of all, this is your.
Of him to be doing something like that, it didn't even catch me off guard.
FBI, I feel like this is clippable.
FBI, this is her unicorn. Dawn got this 8 or 9 years ago at the studio.
A client brought that in.
I remember.
Who had followed us on the show, and she needed our help for something. She said, I never go anywhere without a gift. So I forgot what she brought you, candy or something.
Whatever.
And she brought me this giant unicorn, and she felt like I needed this magic to have it, like she would bring for her kids. And we helped her so much that she had a gag order put on her and said, you can no longer go on their show or say anything. We will give you everything that you've asked for.
Yeah, we got it done.
100%.
And do you know, this thing is 10 years old.
Yeah, from the old
And do you
CD.
know, 10 years now, I understand why she's here because of what you just said. It just appeared.
Yeah.
So I don't care what I look like. I'm gonna hold on to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is my unicorn.
See,
and
BTS,
she
things
lives,
that people don't understand why they're here, but they have a reason.
1000%.
and she's here. So that's a true story. You know, I started this whole thing for a relationship with my son,
I can feel that.
and he's still. I called him today. He's still there, and he knows it, and my other son knows it, and everybody knows it. But this unicorn, this is a special reason. But I just discovered it today because of what you just said. So how do you like that?
I like it. I like it. That's something. You know, and you were saying, I was saying the people, but that's the perfect example that this opportunity, you were driven to build this relationship with your son or to keep it from disintegrating. And it grew stronger. And, you know, so you're dubbing it unicorn. But yeah, exactly. It's the magic that came from you tending to the pull. And this wasn't really about this in this chapter, but what people, I think, need to understand, this is really important. People talk about manifestation, and it's been coming up a lot in conversation. And on the radio show, I'm going to talk about manifestation as well. But when we feel drawn to something, when something pulls us, it's because our soul, that passion, that excitement, that draw, that inspiration, is our soul going, this is the right direction of your soul's purpose. So we look at it as, I feel joy. But really, it's your soul going, there's a breadcrumb for you. Follow it.
Piece of candy.
Piece of candy, right?
Yeah.
It's somewhere. I don't know if it was in this chapter. But yeah, piece of candy. And you followed those pieces of candy. So your draw to be with your son was important because not everything is just one thing. It was important, but it was equally as important that you be involved in this because look what it's expanded to. Look what it's expanded to. Look! You're not looking! No, I'm just kidding.
Personally,
Sorry, that was on sound.
I live it every day.
Yeah, you live it every day. The magic of the unicorns.
But sometimes you don't know you need the unicorn, and the unicorn literally drops in your lap.
1,000%.
In your lap.
Yep.
And that's when you know if you're open to receiving messages from God, the universe, the unicorns, whatever you believe in, that you are where you're supposed to be. You are on that right path. Like, I never knew I was going to work with you. Literally, I met this woman at a Christmas party who linked me back to you from 4 years later or previous and said, do this. And then you had a conversation with me. I'm like, how do you know that? Like, how do you know what I'm thinking? How do you believe in what I believe in? Because there's nobody else that thinks like me except this man who I didn't know.
Freddie's magical.
He's your unicorn!
Except this man I never knew, and I'm sitting at the radio station going, he gets me. I'm like,
That's
how
a
could
scary
you
thought.
possibly get me? Right? But look, 10 years later, 14 years later, here we are.
Speaking the
And you're
same
holding
language.
a unicorn.
And it's funny because, you know, I look at the interns, I look at them learning, I see Heather working on that book, I see the growth, and none of that to me makes a difference. This is given. My unicorn, she eats and she gives me everything that goes on. So this is extra, man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, good, bad, or indifferent, because I'm living the dream.
Absolutely.
Heather has a
Right.
comment for you.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, the four of you over there are like my major unicorns in my life.
Aww.
You know that.
Hang on, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
Heather. Oh, she's getting a full headlock before I walk out of here. Noogies.
The whole thing.
No, because you guys have been the people so far in my life that have allowed me to kind of see my direction and where I want to go and where I'm destined to be, if you will. Because I never had the people in my life to kind of allow me to see these unconventional ways. Because I don't want to be conventional. I don't want to follow the norm. So you guys have helped me a lot see that. So yeah, thanks.
Well, here you go, unconventional.
There you go. But in the time that Heather has been here, you have literally learned everything in this studio. Some things you like more than others. You bounce back and forth. We talked about social media before because we pull her to a million different directions and we just kick Instagram down the can a little bit more. But it's really important because now you see why we need the social media, the BTS, but you've learned so many things. You started opening like Fonzie and production, and then you moved to social media and branding and the newspaper and writing and the magazine, and now you're journaling. So you've kind of touched on everything, that you can be anything and everything that you want to be.
Yeah.
Sound like Willy Wonka, right? But truly you can. You've learned so much.
Yeah.
She's the new Renaissance woman.
Yes.
She's the next wave that's coming. When we're like, we're done, there she is.
Yeah.
You know, she reminds
Passing
me.
the baton.
She reminds me of Gio, because when you're so good at so many different things, how the hell do you pick what you're good at? Because you're good at everything you touch. You're good at everything you put together. And you say, yeah, and to you it's like second nature. Because you don't know just, but when you other people see it, you go,
Make it look
man, you're looking up. You're saying, you're doing this and this and this and this, and you're doing it without breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
And that's what you bring to the table.
Yes, ma'am.
So
So
the
that's what
world
we
is,
see.
the world is your oyster. You can choose. If you're good at everything, then you don't take that for granted. You get to choose what you love
At any
and
given
follow
time.
that. It's awesome.
Yep.
It's inspiring
And
Yep.
liberating.
and exciting
Very.
and all of the ings.
And I hope that all the interns that come through this foundation, or at least more than not, learn that they are good at everything that they touch, and they have the opportunity like you did. I hope that this is a safe space for people to learn so many different crafts that you might not learn on the outside world. You might feel like there's nobody else in this world that is your unicorn, and nobody believes in you, or you don't even believe in you. And we've got chibis now from this young girl that's created
Chibis.
so many great little cartoons, and she found an outlet for what she does. I hope that they learn to be themselves in here. She's probably walking in the door now. That we
She's
can
good.
do that.
They're very good. They're
Yeah.
very popular.
Yeah,
We're
you
going to
got-
wear little buttons so everybody has an ID.
Nice.
You got
That's
Fonzie running
cool.
around doing things. Here's our chibi right there.
That's the
You
chibi.
like that, Andrew, don't you?
Yeah.
He's the chibi.
All right, but besides the book, Dana is so much more than the
Chibi.
book. The book is great. She's got multiple books. She's got cards. She's got curriculums. You're here to help people on so many different levels. I
Yes.
want them. I don't want to lose sight of you and what
Yes.
you offer
Okay.
in a book, have a conversation. So
Yeah.
share more about you.
I appreciate that because I've been thinking a lot lately about, my next step, like what I want to bring forward. And I'm actually doing a fundraiser next month, and then I'm doing a wedding a couple weeks after that. And I'm working with people, because I do groups. So I'm working with people about understanding their energy, understanding that they are the point of attraction, and understanding how to get what they want out of life. And I do it in so many different ways. I'm going to do one is a painting group. I'm going to do another one working with cards. And then if you go to my website, ubuntufishgallery.com, UBUNTU, fishgallery.com, I have I think 4 or 5 different groups that I used to do at the gallery, but now I travel because I come to you because the gallery is no longer in existence. But everything from knowing your chakras, knowing your spiritual gifts, again, painting, empowering yourself through the Ubuntu Girls Guide to Greatness. And what I do is I create these resources so you can assist yourself. So some people want a coach, right? They want to go to the gym. They want somebody to tell them to lift the weights. So call me and I'll coach you. Some people just want the program and then they go and do it themselves. I got a book for that. Some people don't want they don't want a book. They want to watch the video. I got a video for that. Some people are like, hey, I just want to pull a daily card. I got cards for that. I am so inspired to help you figure out what works best for you. I can't do it for you, and I'm not even going to tell you how to do it, but I could assist you in the processes and how to do it for yourself. Everybody's got their own flavor, and everybody is worthy of finding that flavor, because when you do, life just becomes magical. Freddie's got the unicorn to prove it. So go to my website, check it out, learn a bunch of stuff. You'll be better off for it.
And even if you're not woo, you just want to better yourself with different modalities and different techniques. You go to the bookstore and there is a whole plethora of books, self-help books. You're like, I can't read them. You get through a couple pages, you put it down. Dana has different ways to teaching. The books, the cards, the crystals, or if you don't like any of that, the conversations, the art, the creativity. There's so many nuances of what you offer.
Yeah, and I don't consider what I do woo. Like I
Right.
get why you guys, Dana's the woo.
crossover.
I don't consider myself woo. I consider myself somebody who's very grounded, very practical. I'm taking these things that people consider woo,
Right.
that are aspects and parts of all of us, like energy. Like who's disputing that everything is energy, right? Like anybody? Everything is energy. So I'm basically taking that concept, that could be taken and create woo out of it. Ooh, Reiki and manifestation and alignment. I'm getting so irreverent, I can hear it. But I'm taking all of those things and I'm saying, no, people, this is a part of who every one of us is. And when you understand that about yourself and you understand how to navigate the world based on understanding that about yourself, there's nothing you can't do. So I'm like an empowerment person who happens to know a little bit about the woo and bringing it for everybody to, find the woo in them.
Have
Wrote
you
a
ever
book
worked
about
at senior communities?
No.
I know it's probably nothing you ever thought
No,
about.
more about the kids.
I hear about the kids, but if you think about seniors or assisted living, and there's always activities. And sometimes the activities are, I don't want to say dumbed down, but simplified down.
Yeah.
And you may not need to simplify for people that are in the senior community, because why? You and I, remember we did a remote at a senior center? Some of the people there were so
Amazing.
spectacular, and they had
Yeah.
simplified so many of the activities that some of the residents came up to us and said, I was an engineer at CBS. I ran the lighting and this at CBS
David
Morning Show,
Letterman,
and I
yeah.
did this, and I did this, and I'm thinking, there's so much greatness in an older population, but yet we don't treat them as if who they were.
Right.
And I don't know if it's even anything irrelevant or on a radar screen, but for whatever reason it came into my mind that the things that you offer, even to paint, like, there, I don't know.
You
but
set it up, I will show up.
look, I came up with a book idea for you, right?
Right,
For
right.
kids.
But you set it up, and I don't mean you set it up, but like you guys do remotes and things like that.
I'm gonna
I
see
am
what
down. I
pops
think it's a
up.
great idea. I think it's a great idea.
I was looking at some senior communities for my mom, and the crafts are great, but my mom I know would maybe want more. Maybe she would be like, wow, this would be really great if I could paint
XYZ.
this or do that or learn what Wendy's doing or whatever it is or hear from whomever or what you have to say that
Yeah.
give people hope at whatever age they are, because it's never too late. And I look at my mom, I guess, for example, and she's like, this is my life now. And she doesn't have a connection. She doesn't have a community. But yet people in community are looking for community.
Yeah. You know, my father, he passed in 2019, but in the last couple years, every time I'd be alone with him to bond with him, I would ask him, what do you think happens next? What do you think it's all about? My Uncle Pete, same thing. He's like rivaling Russ now. He's like 92 or 93. And I asked them, and when I see my father-in-law, I talk to him about these things. What do you think is really out there? Based on, because you know what they've been taught. Yeah. What do you really think? And I think even those conversations, because as people are getting towards the end of their lives, they're really questioning what is what, and more so than what they have been taught to believe. And but people don't want to have those conversations because they're afraid. I'm totally down for those
Or
conversations.
even just having a conversation, even just opening it up and having a conversation, a thought-provoking conversation with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you would be so great because you're such a great educator.
Well, thanks.
I know. I've just opened up. A little bit.
So have you ever seen the movie with Denzel Washington, The Book of Eli?
No.
Okay, you have to, because you are the Book of Eli. So the Book of Eli, the way it comes down to is Denzel has a book that the whole world wants, and the world was destroyed by nuclear waste. And the book, you know the Book of Eli?
Shut up.
No
So
way.
you're the reason it's in my head, because I hear
That's
you.
freaking wild. I
So the
love
Book
it.
of Eli, you know how it ended?
Never heard about it, and he's like, "This is my homework. I have to watch the Book of Eli."
He
I
memorized.
don't even know.
He memorized the Bible, verse, all 24 books.
Wow.
And so he was dying at the end. You gotta see the movie.
Yeah.
And he's telling the person that's writing it out. But you remind me of the Book of Eli, because for everybody you meet, it's a blank book. Everybody's a blank book. And you begin to fill the pages with the things that make up the book. And remember when I first met you, I said the greatest book written is the one read. But what about the greatest book written is the one that hasn't been written yet?
Absolutely. I've been
And you
thinking about
remind
that
me,
so much.
and you put it in my head, by the way. You've been doing it now for about a half hour.
Or not.
The Book of Eli.
That's insane.
And it is, and I love Denzel, and I love everything he does. And you are a tribute to that. That's what you bring to mankind is the opportunity to write their book, but you help them. You're the writer, and they're the pages. And it's really weird the way that came about. But
is.
Yeah.
All right, Jana, how do people find you? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for more, I promise. How do people find you and all your teachings?
You can find me at ubuntufishgallery.com, UBUNTU fishgallery.com, or hop on, go to social media, and you see my mug and flapping my gums anywhere you flip on the channel, and you find me here. And find me on True Oldies Radio as well, Thursday night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah. Super excited. Oh, you have to tune in. I'm super excited. I'm talking manifestation. There's been a lot of conversation about manifestation, and even Warren Russell has a new show about manifestation, and it really is the buzzword. And I am here to decode that woo and demystify all of it. So tune in, because I'm super excited long time. So that's where you can find me.
All right, we're going to
Thank
take
you.
a quick break. More to come. We have to check in with Wendy B when we get back from commercial. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stop playing small and step into your highest self? This isn't just a book club. It's a call to action. No fluff, no excuses, just growth. Actually, growth with some super cool people with a shared intention. Join us live at the Ubuntu Room on the Brooklyn Cafe Show Wednesdays at noon and become the greatest version of you. For more information, go to ubuntufishgallery.com. UBUNTU fishgallery.com.